Kiritsis by Kiritsis. This is the debut album from the band that came out just a few months ago. The band described their sound as degenerate, doom-tinged, sludgy death and roll. That's a pretty good explanation of what you get here, although I will say I think the sludge elements are a lot more prominent than the death and roll elements, but all in all, yeah, that's a fair description. Now, I am very picky when it comes to sludge. I'm not a huge fan of the style that leans more towards hardcore punk. I'm not a huge fan of the style that leans more towards industrial metal. I do like the style like Crowbar does that leans more towards doom metal, the more misanthropic, dark, angry style of sludge. That's what we've got here, and I was very excited for that. As far as sludge goes, this is what I like, and I really enjoyed this album. This album touches upon all the strains of sludge metal that I really enjoy. It's got some crushing, lethargic, depressive, doomy tracks that are laden with tension and atmosphere, and then it's got some really angry, aggressive, misanthropic tracks that are more energetic and lean more towards that death and roll influence. Great variety here. The drumming is nice and varied. It's not too repetitive like some sludge bands are, and the riffs are strong. Again, some sludge bands lean more towards hardcore punk style riffs, which don't really grab me. This has some nice, doomy, sludgy riffs that I can really get behind. Vocals are good, bass is good. All the compositional elements here are really strong for the genre. Another strength to this album is that it is very consistent. I mentioned Crowbar earlier, and I'm going to have to make more comparisons because this band does sound very similar in sound. Crowbar are kind of known for writing some of the greatest sludge songs of all time, but a Crowbar album will typically also have a couple groovy, chuggy songs that just don't really do anything for me personally. This band is really the opposite. They don't have any super highlight sludge hits that'll match Crowbar's greatest moments, but they also don't have any lowlights. The whole album is very consistent, very strong start to finish. All the different stylistic versions of sludge they do here are done very well, and that makes the album enjoyable front to back. That does kind of tie into the only weak point I could find with this album. That is that this album is doomy sludge played and executed very well. But is there anything that really sets it apart from other doomy, sludgy bands? No, not really. But it's a debut album, and a very good one at that. Let these guys cook, and I think they can find it. So who is this album for? Well, fans of Crowbar. If you're a fan of Crowbar, you should love this. And if, like me, you like your sludge metal, dark, doomy, angry, misanthropic, at times depressive, more moody rather than punky, you should enjoy this a lot. Great example of the genre. I definitely recommend it.